Let me get you a chair. Or actually, you can take one of the empty chairs. But yeah, we're starting now. So this is like a quiet place. Well, check, check. 1, 2, check, check. Yeah. Are we ready, folks? Are we ready, folks? Woo! Ready, folks? Yeah. All right, this is the last neighborhood show of the summer. I'm really happy to be here. I don't know, maybe, I'm not sure if I'll be back next year. It might be moved out. Who knows? This might be the last neighborhood show ever. But I want to
follow you wherever you go.
Oh, thank you. Pay my rent, please. But I want to say I really appreciate having my neighbors be so supportive of comedy. And just having us out here like every month, it's been 100% a pleasure and also a headache, but mostly a pleasure. So I am not going to talk too long because our first performer needs to get going right away. He's got shows like literally all across the West Coast. You see this man wearing a suit, matching my cat with the bow tie. I see you, black man. I see you with the suit. He actually has a sister company to Buckley Productions called Superman Productions, and they're all about diverse programming. So they have something called Autistic Podcast Artists, yes, which is artists talking about, artists that have autism talking about just podcasts and things, I guess. He has a number of great productions like Funny Women or Raw Women, which is just like all women comedy show. He is also in charge of the Northwest Portland Black Comedy Festival. He's one of those people. All I'm trying to say is this guy does a lot of great work for the community. He does a lot that's, contributing for diverse inclusive programming. So I'm going to give it up for Dante Bartman, Suitman Production himself.
Yo! Yeah, I knew for some reason when I got up here it'd get a whole lot louder. So my name is Dante. It's spelled all fucked up though. It's Duante. So I get everything from Duante to Duane. I even get Dwayne every once in a while, like the T silent and shit. Worst part for me is when I go to the doctor's office or a new job, people really have the balls to ask me if I spelled my name right. Yeah, like I didn't graduate kindergarten and shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's bullshit. But the funny one to me is like white people think, minorities are the only ones with hard names. I don't think that's true. I went to the doctor's office. I read the girl's name tag. It was Ganell. So I told her, that's a beautiful way to spell Janelle. She was like, no, sir. My name's Gail. Yeah, like you. I said so like anal with a G. And she's like, that's inappropriate. I was like, well, shit, I was just trying to remember your name. You know what I mean? Then the funny part is like I'm mixed, and so people mistake my culture all the time. And last week, I had a lady come up to me and she goes, aren't you one of those Samoans? And I was like, no, ma'am, not a Girl Scout cookie. Yeah, if I am a cultural cookie, I'm actually an Oreo. Yeah, get it right. You know what I mean? Yeah, double stuff thanks to COVID. Anybody else? You know what I'm talking about? But then, I did my 23andMe to figure out what I was, and it's been messing with my personal identity this whole time. I always thought I was an angry black guy, right? Come to find out I'm 60% white. Yeah, I guess that means I'm an angry white guy and shit, right? And the worst part is I tried to go to a meeting and they wouldn't even let me in. I was like, I got my sheet on. How do you guys tell? But I saw some dude cussing some guy out and he's like, that's not how we spell Dwayne. And then I like to fight stereotypes. I actually used to be an IT teacher, but I don't quite fit the description. So my first week of class, my white students would heckle me. They'd say stuff like the floor's been swept, the garbage has been taken out. Don't worry, found a way to get back at it. Since I have a master's degree, I tell all my white students to call me master. Yeah, that's your Juneteenth joke. It's a little late, just like us, right? And for any of the white people that didn't like that joke, let me give you a history lesson. We didn't like it either, right? This one's gonna be bad, but I'm doing it. People always ask me, they're like, you're a pretty good college teacher, so why don't you teach like high school or middle school or elementary school? And I was like, there's one reason. Yeah, it's quite simple. I like to talk to my students, and that's kind of frowned upon with those other institutions. They're community college students, they need extra credit opportunities to graduate. Screw you guys, right? Shit. Well, it's about to get worse. I'm doing the new ones. So I go by Soup Bad Productions, right? And I do a show called Deaf Comedy Jam. Have any of you guys ever heard of it?
Yeah.
I don't think you're hearing me. It's DEAF. We translate comedy for a deaf audience.
Oh.
And I got trolled by the deaf community because I'm only hard of hearing, and they didn't think I was deaf enough. And I was like, that's bullshit. I'm mixed. I've spent my whole life proving how black I am. I'm definitely not going to prove how deaf I am to you guys too, right? Shit. And then even worse than that, like I found out this year I was Asperger's, which is a form of autism. And my response wasn't the best. I was like, so now I'm retarded. They're like, we don't call you that anymore. I was like, yeah, but y'all still call us niggas though. He's the only one who laughed at the joke. And then he groaned afterwards, like, I'm not allowed to be the only one laughing. Shit, he got me. Oh, you laughed. I'll take that. This one's going to go a little darker. So, I lost my mom 4 years ago, and I was celebrating the anniversary of her death. And somebody was like, well, you could use some of her ashes to make a pendant or earrings or necklace. That way you always got something with you to remind you of it. And I was like, oh, you mean like these cigarette burn scars? Same thing, right? Like, shit.
Oh, man.
And then the best part about these is there's a tobacco history used with these, because on the right hand, it's a Salem, which is a full menthol cigarette from the early 80s. And then she became a classy lady and started smoking Capris. That's what I got on the left. And for those of you guys think that's too dark, don't worry. Laughs on her, I got her back, because when she died, I cremated her.
Oh.
Yeah, who's the ashtray now, Mom? Right? Like, shit. That's a burn that lasts, right? Fuck. Good therapy. It's good therapy. We'll get back into the good jokes. I'm sorry. I used to be married. I had that usual son-in-law, mother-in-law relationship. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Where she hates you, you hate her. But I found a common ground with mine. She likes spirit animals. So I told her she's the new one. It's a hybrid, part cheetah, part puma. Yeah, I told her she's puta. You took some Spanish over here. Jesus, she's not really, that's horrible. But it's funny to me because, like, I think about things and it's different. Like, when you're a parent, I don't know, when you're older, you date differently. Like, I recently got on Tinder. I was posting on there how I like to play pinochle and cribbage and shit like that. I was getting a whole lot of matches. They were hooking me up with their grandmas. And that wasn't too bad after I thought about it, because I was like, check them out. One big bang, one big check. You know what I mean? Like, shit, we'll work this out. Sugar mamas aren't that bad. I'm mad the women laughed at that joke. You guys are horrible for that. But it's weird because I hate having an office job because everybody in Seattle's all passive aggressive. And I'm more like aggressive aggressive. Yeah, like I won't do a subliminal Facebook post. I'll just catch you by the Keurig and punch you in the throat.
Yeah.
And then not only that, but my part is being a minority in an office job, you always do like one of those potlucks. You always get white coworkers that want to make ethnic dishes for you. And I'm like, I don't do that shit to you guys. I don't bring green bean casserole or stovetop stuffing to the event. But the worst part is, like, the day of, Sarah will come up to me and she'll be like, oh my God, you gotta try these greens. Yeah, I bet you they're better than your mom's. And I'm like, bitch, that's disrespectful. Yeah, my mom's white. Only 4 people in here have any culinary culture. Those 4 got that joke. So I'll end on this. Before I came down here, I told a girl I was doing a comedy set. She was like, I hope your set goes like your sex life. What? She was like, yeah, I hope we can last the whole 10 minutes and everybody's laughing next by the time you're done. Hey, thank you for your time, you guys. Give it up for your host, producer, and queen, Cynthia Fox, you guys.
Oh.
Oh, okay, we're back. I am so amazing that I forgot the next person. I feel stupid. Okay, the next person on this lineup is Athena Rodriguez. She's gonna be over there, but, well, I think the wind is hitting a little bit, but Athena Rodriguez.
Oh, I think that the other one is on. The two, both are on.
Everyone was thinking that the wind was like attacking the mic, but like no, she was just like booping the mic around this whole time. So I just want to tell you, this incredible lady is amazing, hands down, funny, generous, kind, like all the things you can think of. So during the apocalypse, which we call last year, continuing this year, which is part two, her and her husband were there, which we'll introduce later. They started something called hypothetical comedy, and they did a lot of virtual shows. They did a lot of like just like hangout sessions, and they also do a lot of like game shows, like anything to build that the characters of their taste. And honestly, she is just like a godmother of virtual comedy. So I can't say enough good things about her. So I'm just gonna shut up and let her do all the talking. So everyone put your hand in your hand together for Tina Rodriguez.
Thank you. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Hello. It's so good to be outside again. I'm really good at staying inside and being introverted. I wasn't too scared of being outside during the pandemic, but during the first panic week where everybody was buying a bunch of, stuff, I watched two people in Walmart, two grown-ass women in Walmart fighting over a box of wine. Right? And I wasn't too offended by it. I was actually quite impressed because the lady who won, she didn't drop her baby once. The things that we can accomplish while we're breastfeeding. Wonder Woman. I have to think about during the pandemic, we're going to have pandemic babies. Am I right? We're going to have those babies. And in the future, they're going to ask, Mom, how did you meet my dad? And I know one lady's going to be out there going, well, he was outside the house when the quarantine was lifted. I didn't even realize he was a man. We were both pleasantly surprised. I also think about how they do all those, the History Channel, all the documentaries about the pandemic. That's going to be in the way future. They're going to be interviewing all these people, and they're going to interview some old person. And they're going to be like, how did you survive the pandemic? And this old person is going to be like, I do it. I suck dick for toilet paper. And their grandkids are going to be like, Grandpa, stop saying that. We got a bidet. It's uncomfortable. I don't know about you guys, but I binge watched a lot of YouTube videos during the pandemic, especially ghost videos. I don't know if they're real, but they're quite entertaining. I found out that a lot of different cultures deal with ghosts differently. There was this one where as soon as they saw something scary, they would start praying immediately. And I found myself praying with them. I was like, oh, dang. In other cultures, they think that if you cuss out the ghost, it makes them go away. Right? Like a bucket would move in the corner and they're like, shut your mother.
It might be hurting.
Right? I always thought that was funny. Me personally, though, I think that ghosts work too hard. I feel like if I was a ghost, I would be very passive aggressive to get people out of my house. Like instead of moaning around the house, I'd be acting like a drunk girl, not even drunk. Let's order a pizza. I figure that like I'd go up behind them and like whisper in their ear, like eating all the string cheese at once again, huh? Rude stuff. Or like if they were taking a shower and instead of leaving like this ominous message in, the steamy mirror, and be like, ew, back me. I feel like that would get people out of my house really fast because, for my old roommate. That might work. I found out during Pride Month that my husband is actually racial. Yeah. He's actually half white, half Mexican, but he passes as a pothead. We'll say it's the eyes. I'm actually multiracial, which sounds fancy, but it just means I have a lot of different people in my family. Like I have so many people in my family. The last family reunion, I mistook the taco vendor for my cousin. I know, it was super awkward because it turned out to be my dad. Very strange to meet him that way. My name is Athena. I was named after the Greek goddess of war, wisdom, and home crafts. Because when I think of a woman in power, I'm like, but can she knit a sweater? She better. And I wish there was like this really loving, beautiful, fantastic story about how I got named Athena. But the truth is, my dad was reading a Greek mythology book while taking a poop on the toilet. So yeah, like my full name is actually Athena Sudoku Rodriguez. I'm really glad you guys are here too, because my dad never went to any of my shows. He would always say weird things like, Mija, you cuss and it's unattractive. Because that's what I want to be, attractive to my father. And my dad was a weird guy too. I don't know if you guys have someone like this in your family, but my dad was that guy that would talk through the whole movie. And then right at the action filled points, he'd be like, Mija, what's happening? What is he doing? It's so annoying, right? But the only way that I could like watch a movie without him making a noise is if there was like nudity on the screen. Like if there were boobies on the screen, he was super quiet. And that's when I like to get back at him and be like, hey dad, what's happening? What are they doing? He doesn't like it. He always wanted a son. I know, it's some weird like Mexican man thing to leave their legacy behind. And I was always confused by that. I'm like, what's the Rodriguez legacy, Dad? Chronic ingrown toenails and diabetes? Like, what are we leaving behind? It's not important. After he passed away, I actually found out that his legacy was actually teaching our whole family karate.
What?
Yeah, I'm telling you, generation upon generation of my family learned karate from my dad, which I found very, very interesting because my dad doesn't know karate.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, we have a lot of people in our family who don't know how to defend themselves. And I wish I had a better relationship with my mother, but I don't, unfortunately. I'd like to say that I have mommy issues, but, I wasn't allowed to call her that. So I just say they're Becky issues. And, yeah, the last time I talked to her, this is why we don't get along, by the way. The last time I talked to her, she tried to pick a fight with me over the phone. I know. Isn't that ridiculous? It was so awkward listening to her do karate over the phone. I always think it's funny that my parents do this weird thing I call backseat grandparenting, because they didn't really raise me. It's really awkward with them. They were very good parents. And so sometimes when they say things like, well, I raised you and you turned out okay. I'm like, but you didn't. Grandma raised me. And I'm kind of just this, you know, it's just kind of like this. I always think it's funny because when I turned 19, my parents decided that they were going to let me in on their conversations about how they used to have sex with each other. I know, isn't that wild? Like my dad would tell me some weird stuff, like, okay, that when he used to go down on my mom, he'd be like forcefully blowing air into there just to make her laugh. I was like, whoa. See, I got my humor from grandma. Really uncomfortable. Really uncomfortable. So yeah, I know my dad's karate. I don't really know how to defend myself. And my friend tried to remedy this, and she's like, you know what you need to get? You need to get a taser like me. Like, heck yeah, give me a taser. And she's like, I'll bring it over, and you could play with it, see if that's what you want. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she comes over. She's like, when do you get a load of this? She starts digging in her purse, right? Digging in her purse, digging in her purse. I'm like, oh day, digging in her purse. She pulls this taser out. I'm like, holy crap. I hope whoever mugs you was as patient as I was. It took a long time. I actually grew up on the east side of San Jose. Thank you, the ghetto. The hardest thugs in my neighborhood growing up were a bunch of unsupervised kids locked in their front yard. We used to roast people that walked in front of their house.
Oh my God.
Like, I would be scared. I'd have to walk on the opposite side of the street because they were pretty mean. Like, I once saw them yell at a like 90-year-old man. They're like, old man, you look like probably good hot dog water.
What?
Like, saying I'm not going over there. I'm not going over there. And then like their mom was a hustler though, you guys. Their mom was a super impressive hustler. Like she asked me for spare change one time and I looked in her cup and I noticed she had more money than I did. Right? She had a dirty Tic Tac in there and I was like, oh, she's ready for anything. And then this dude like walked across the street and punched her in the face and I was like, and she has a boyfriend.
Oh my God. Oh.
Ladies, we can have it all. We can have it all. And I really like this whole big Star Wars, thing that's happening right now. Because when I was a kid, me and the neighborhood kids would play Star Wars a lot. We would play Star Wars a lot. You let the kid down the street, play Princess Leia because he already had the costume. And I used to play Jabba the Hutt. And before you get a little upset about that, I just want to say I was a damn good Jabba the Hutt. But like he's not a very multifaceted character, right? Like there's only so many times he can walk around going, ah. I know, some roles you grow into, am I right? My name is Athena Rodriguez. You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you so much.
Wow. She had more money than you, really. I don't know how to transition from that. But yeah, keep it going for Athena Rodriguez. All right, now I'm going to introduce the next rock star on this stage. On this stage. I don't know what's going on. Oh, he's trying to put the pump blanket.
I haven't used a condom in a long time.
I can hear the struggle. We can all hear the
We
struggle.
live in the prep.
Which is actually a really good point to say. PrEP is really great. It prevents you from getting HIV or passing it on to a partner. So I don't know about your sex lives. Most of y'all are married, but just trying to say maybe. Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. He's like the one single guy. Like, what about me? I'm single.
None of us we're mostly
Well,
all
then
single.
PrEP is for you. But actually, I don't know, because maybe y'all got like side pieces. Maybe got like side husbands, side girlfriends, and boyfriends. I don't know your lives, I don't know. Minga's turning around like, I don't want to talk about this. Not in public. Okay. Our threesome did not end well. We're still in mitigation, trying to divide out the assets. Yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm just making out people. Okay, Baruch Porras Hernandez. Amazing. That's all I'm gonna say. Amazing. Amazing. He has his own, I don't even, like a comic book? Would you call it a comic book or a zine?
Which one are you talking about?
The comic book of yourself, little Baruch.
Oh, that's an online comic titled Tiny Baruch.
Tiny Baruch, yo. He is a writer, an author, a producer, a comedian, a poet. He's all those things. Look at no, okay, you know what? Just put the camera on him. Look at those poses. Okay, look at those poses. Those are the poses of someone who is confident, who is sexy, who is smart, who is an amazing comedian, who knows how to accessorize a purse with his outfit. Okay, I don't even, actually, no, that's more of a crossbody bag or whatever. Okay, I'm not gonna keep y'all from all this greatness. Give it up for Baruch Porras Hernandez. That's
Me! We have this man purse or purse, whatever. My mom got it for me, and I was like, not gay. Well, not that day. And she was like, I know, and I'm very disappointed. She was like, my friend Cello's gay son takes her shopping in Paris. I was like, your friend Cello's son is ugly and gave me herpes, so I don't care. Just kidding, almost everybody has herpes. I don't want to stigma shame anybody. But yeah, she gave me this man purse and I wasn't into it at first. And she was like, just fucking wear it. And so I wore it. In San Francisco where I live, every time I go out with this purse, some woman runs across the street and is like, where did you get that amazing purse? And I have to be like, I don't know. My mom gave it to me. And they always get so mad and they take it. But anyway, it's weird. It's not even part of my set. Props to my mom for keeping me stylish. Right. Jokes. Hello, everyone. You all look very comfortable. My name is Baruch Porras Hernandez, and I may or may not be wearing pants. Oh, this isn't a Zoom show. Fuck. I am wearing pants, thank God. Well, I may or may not be wearing underwear. Just kidding, I'm wearing underwear. That's a little gross. I don't really understand people that go commando all the time. Have you ever had sex with someone who goes commando all the time? You take their pants off and all the heat and all the sweat and stress of the day and their crotch just flies out into your face. And you just look at them like, why? And they're like, I don't like to wear underwear. I go commando. It's sexy. And you're just like, no, it's not. It smells disgusting. What is wrong with you? I hope you wash your pants every day. I don't know. I'm only saying that because recently a dude did that and we did not have a second date. Also, he went to the bathroom, my bathroom. I live in San Francisco. A lot of us there have, what's called the sex worker bathroom set up where it's like your toilet is in one room and your shower is in another room. And that's where the sink is. And so he went to use my bathroom and then came out and just walked back into my bedroom. And I was like, you're not gonna wash your hands? And he was like, no, I use the hand sanitizer. And I was like, yeah, but you should also wash your hands. And he was like, why? That's a lot. I mean, I already used the hand sanitizer. And his fingers smelled like hand sanitizer and poop for the rest of the night. And I was so uncomfortable. And I just sat there and I had put a bowl of popcorn out with some peanut M&Ms, and he kept grabbing the popcorn and my peanut M&Ms. And at one point during the movie, he tried to surprise feed me, which is not okay, even if he had washed his hands. He tried to surprise feed me with his fingers, peanut M&Ms, and I totally matrixed that shit. I am a chubby Mexican, but I literally was like, Tiana, please. I was like, no, please. And he was like, what? You don't like peanuts? And I was like, I'm allergic to peanuts. And he was like, why do you have them in your bedroom then? And I was like, asthma, I have asthma. And I got up, I went to another part of my room and just stared out the window, taking puffs from my inhaler and wondering about my life choices. Like I said, my name is Baruch Porras Hernandez. And if that scares you, my name is Baruch Porras Hernandez. I'm just a chubby little Mexican who was born in Mexico. And then I crossed the border and came here to steal all of your jobs. Make out with all of your husbands and boyfriends and eat all the motherfucking cake I want. Why? Porque sí se puede, cabrones. Sí se puede. A lot of people in the Bay Area don't care that I'm Mexican and gay. Like when I tell them, I'm Mexican and gay, they're like, girl, who is it? LOL. You know, they're like, you're not special. But when I perform in other states or other cities, like I just did a tour on the East Coast, people were like bewildered. They were like, mostly white women were bewildered. They were like, hold up, what? How does that work? I was like, yeah, Mexican and gay at the same time. And they were like, what? How? And I was like, it's like, por favor, dame todo el penis. Todos los penises de mi boca, por favor, ahorita mismo, gracias. It's like that, you know, and they still didn't get it. One woman got very National Geographic with me. She was like, tell me everything. I want to know everything. What is it like walking those two roads at the same time? And I told her, being Mexican and gay is like being a taco truck that is covered in glitter and plays Selena all the time. Bitty, bitty, bum, bum. It's like that. And she got it. But I kept going. I was like, being Mexican and gay means I'm good at two things. Eating chorizo and eating chorizo. I'm just like every other gay guy, though. I'm just like you, other gay guys, possibly, hopefully, in the audience tonight. I also hear my parents crying inside my head when I make love to a man. It's just in Spanish. And it sounds like this. Hijo, no, por favor, hijo. No lo hagas, hijo, no. No seas gay, hijo, por favor. No toques el vidas, hijo, no. I usually respond to the voices in my head like this. Lo siento, mamá, papá, pero me gusta el dick. And then I go back to touching the dick. So touching all the dicks because I'm a slut. And I live in San Francisco. My parents are cool though. When I came out, they were not cool. When I came out, they literally were like, we won't drown in the river made of our tears. And now they're like cool and they swear they never acted that way. My mother literally like took the ground and like wept in the ground. And every time I tried to like get her up, she was like, don't touch me. This is where I will die. And I was like, here in the kitchen? And she was like, this is where they will find my body. I was like 16 and I was like, Mom, get on. Your face is on the floor. And she just was like, good, leave me here. And I was like, you left the stove on. And she was like, las tortillas. And she like got up. She was like, ¿por qué no me dijiste que todavía estaban en el comal? Which means, you didn't tell me the tortillas were still on the burner. And I was like, it's a miracle. You're walking, you're alive. Yes. This little Mexican woman looked at me and was like, right back down to the floor. Right back down to cry. I finally got her to stop crying. And I like picked her up and I was like, come on, let's go for a walk. Walk it off, walk it off. And right before we leave, she was like, you get it from your father's side of the family. And I walked off. Now she's really cool though, a little too cool. Like I was driving her around the other day because she's old and she doesn't like driving on the freeway. And I was just, trying to joke around. I was like, Mom, I've made a decision and I decided to tell you, it's my body. I can do what I want with my body. So I don't want to hear any judgment from you. I have decided to do porn to pay the bills. And my mother, without skipping a beat, said, really? Don't you think you should do some squats first? Right? I almost drove myself a clinic. I was like, and she was like, things are getting a little droopy back there. And I like froze, y'all. I was like, what the fuck is happening? And she was like, porn, really? You can't even do a push-up, bitch. You think you're gonna last through one scene? Those people are professionals and they work out. And I was like, joking. And she was like, well, I wasn't, son. You need to make some changes. And then she was like, oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to fat shame anymore. Well, am I fat shaming you? Sorry. Okay. How about this? Sure, son. Follow your dreams. Now drive me to brunch. And I drove her to brunch because that's my mother. She's really supportive of me though. She really she's like, hey, gay marriage is legal now. Where's the husband? And I'm like, I don't know, Mom, where's your husband? You've been single since 1996, lady. And according to her, that is not an appropriate thing to say to your mother because she's very bitter about how she's still single. But back when I had a partner, we'd been together 8 years. And my mother loved him. We would go on walks. We like to go on walks sometimes, clear the air, clear the tension, exercise the legs. And we're walking, and my mom goes, Baruch, you see this house right here, the nice house? A man just moved in, tall, handsome, single, doctor, y gay. And I was like, really, Mom? She was like, yes, gay. And I was like, wow. It's called Cynthia's Comedy Show, not Baruch's Back Fat. Remember that, Cynthia. When you take pictures of a tall person, you have to get on top of a chair. So, I'm kidding, you're fine. Here we go. Yeah, I know. That's because whenever there's like pictures of me doing comedy, it's never like me looking good. They always get me when I'm like this. Like that's, all the pictures are like, here's Baruch's fat and neck fat, instead of like me looking cute. But she tells me like there's a hot man that's single and gay that's moved to this house. And I was like, really, Mom? My partner at the time goes, Victoria, I'm right here. And my mother says, yeah, I know where you are, Davey. I also don't see a ring on my son's fingers, so. And he was like, wow, Victoria, I don't believe in marriage. And my mother goes, yeah, good for fucking you. I don't believe in my son dying alone. Anyway, I got his number. And he looked at me like I was supposed to defend him or whatever. And I was like, you're right, Mom. There's a ring on my finger. What was this guy's name again? And he was really upset. And then we broke up. But yeah, that happened. It was a long pandemic, right? It's still happening. It's so weird that it's still happening. Like, my heart goes out to all of you single people, all of you sad people, single people who, like me, weren't able to trap someone before the pandemic. Because boy, was that tough. That first year, oh my God. That first year, at one point, my penis started to fake it and finish way too early, so I would leave him alone. He literally would just be like, but done. Excuse me, we're not done. And he'll be like, we're done. And I'll be like, sir, we got like 3 hours left to go. We gotta support these OnlyFans boys, okay? It is a pandemic. We gotta do our part. We gotta support sex workers. At one point, my penis was like, could you not touch me for 5 freaking minutes? And then I would be like, sorry, bro, there's no one here. It's just you and me. We gotta stay alive. At one point in the pandemic, my penis wrote me a slam poem. It was titled 7.5 Tips on How to Survive the Pandemic When You're Stuck to a Perpetually Horny, Sad, Fat Piece of Shit named Baruch Forbes Hernandez. I gave it a 2.4. I was like 2.4. And he was like, fuck you, not even a 5.2. I was like, no, 2.4. You suck. Go write a better poem. And then I was like, why am I talking to my penis? Oh, because I'm stuck in my room alone, staring out the window. My therapist at one point was like, I think you might be addicted to self-sabotage. He said, I think you're right. We should definitely have sex. Of course, I didn't say that to my therapist. You shouldn't say inappropriate things to your therapist, no matter how beautiful his eyes are or how soft his lips look in the Zoom. He says he's straight or whatever. I'm like, hey, so was I at one point. And then I got better. He doesn't think that's very funny. My therapist also said, Baruch, when you're this depressed and lonely, you shouldn't do drugs. And like, he's right. But like the other day, when I was depressed and on drugs, I started thinking, I'm like really sad, y'all. I was like so sad. Because I was like, even if I survive this terrifying pandemic, I'm probably going to die anyway. From all the dicks I'm gonna try to cram into my mouth when this is over. at the same time, cutting off my air supply. And I don't care. I don't care if they find me dead in the back of Steamworks, which is a sex club, by the way, in Berkeley. It's wonderful. It's open 24/7. They'll be like, unfunny, unfamous fat comedian found dead in the back of Steamworks. He died as he lived, being a disgusting whore. And I'll be okay with that. I might even destroy the world, y'all, because I fear that, like, it'll create a new black hole from the sheer pressure, speed, and strength of my gay lungs, sucking all the dicks towards my throat now faster than the speed of light and sound, eventually warping time and gravity into itself, creating a new black hole and destroying the world. And I might just go back to being a fat guy nobody wants to marry. That's fine. That's fine, I'll survive. I live in San Francisco, formerly the land of flowers in your hair, currently the land of tech people and assholes. And that's they're usually not separated. It's usually, you meet an asshole in San Francisco, they work in the tech industry. If you meet a tech person, they're usually an asshole. And then they get very upset and talk to me after a comedy show. And I'm just like, wait, are you gonna give me $100? They're like, no, I just want to tell you that not all tech people are dicks. And I'm like, so you're not gonna give me $100? And they're like, well, no. So you're gonna be a dick? Get the fuck out of my way. Get the fuck out of my way. I just like, every time a tech person tries to defend me, I'm like, take out your phone right now. Donate $100 to Black Lives Matter. And they always go, oh, wait, why? I'm like, you can afford it. Donate $100 to Black Lives Matter now on my name. And they're always like, what? It's my money. Oh, so you're gonna be a dick? Get the fuck out of my way. And then they get the fuck out of my way. But I try not to fuck with them because people with money will sue you for like the littlest things. So I always like say, get the fuck out of my way. But then I turn around and shake their hand. I'm like, I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry, tech people. Your dick is so big, tech people. Your dick is so big, daddy. Who works at Facebook, Twitter, or Google? Who the fuck cares? I don't even know what these companies do nowadays. But yeah, I live in San Francisco and I don't have a car because I'm not an idiot. Because it's impossible to have a car in that city. And so I'm on Lyft a lot. And I love Lyft, but there needs to be a button you can press at the end of the Lyft ride that gives you all your money back. All of it. In case your Lyft driver won't shut the fuck up about Jesus. And now look, I am Catholic. I go to church sometimes. But I'm like, I don't understand why Christians just love trying to convert me. What is it about my fat face that they're like, this guy, I'm going to convert him? And I literally, I'm like, I'm Catholic. I go to church. And they're like, but have you accepted Jesus into your heart? And I'm like, have you accepted sucking dick into your heart? Because it'll change your life, buddy. It's just infuriating. Like, a Jewish guy has never tried to convert me. A Muslim dude never tried to convert me. Buddhists, they've never tried to convert me. But something about like psycho Christians that just, it's like, oh, he's trapped in the back of my car. Now's my chance. What the fuck does that make sense? Next time I'm stuck in the back of a Lyft ride in traffic on a freeway ramp with some asshole who won't stop turning around to talk to me about the Bible and how it connects him to his fellow man and how it connects him to God. I'm just gonna be like, okay, but sir, have you ever put a man's balls right on your tongue and let them sit there gingerly, tenderly, until you can feel his heartbeat on your tongue through his balls? I have never felt closer to God than when I have felt a man's heartbeat through his balls on my tongue. Don't change the subject. Why are you changing the subject? Stop changing the subject. I'm not stuck in this lift right here with you. You're stuck in this lift right here with me. And until we reach my destination, sir, we are talking about balls. 1 star. Now, is that my 1 minute or my 2 minutes?
0 minutes.
0 minutes. I'm done, everybody. No more talking about balls. Please follow me on Instagram. I have no followers. My name is Baruch Hernandez. I'm the only chubby Mexican that has a weird Jewish name on there. It's Baruch, Baruch Hernandez. Follow me on Twitter at Baruch is on fire. That's it. I'm going to leave. Bye. I love you.
That was a really great set. I learned so much about balls. So much about balls. I actually really liked it. It's really hard to juggle balls. I don't know how people juggle balls. Like, okay, like that, like, there's like 2 balls, right? And then they just like do they just like stay together, or is there just one always on the other side, just stuck to a leg? Right. Wait, what? She from another female or woman. One is always stuck to another side, or maybe not binary piece with Chris. I don't know. But Meg, can you confirm this? Is the ball always stuck on one side of the leg? Do you have to like shimmy it a little bit, like a little bit of a shake to get it out? I don't know. So I just wanted to inform everyone we're gonna leave the Zoom for like a second. We just have to reconnect. So we're gonna leave the Zoom, but we'll be back in like a second, right? So we'll be back. We're gonna zoom in. All right, we're gonna zoom out, then we're gonna zoom in, then we're gonna keep going on the show. Yeah? Yeah, don't freak out. Just stay. Just stay. We leave, then come back. Just stay.
Yeah, I can't get it to. Yeah, I don't know what's happening. I feel like it's just like freaking out. We're still live streaming, so maybe I was just we might just have to force quit everything. Or lose them. I'm just afraid that if we do that, it might shut down the whole meeting instead of just like popping us out. So let's try on the browser. Okay.
That's champagne. Well, the party's starting.
Yeah. The worst thing is having to restart your computer. Oh yeah. I feel like everything's freezing up, but so yeah, let's try force cutting.